Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister, and this is my series on the minor arcana, and we're covering the wands. This is the first minor arcana suit we're covering, and today we're going to cover the King of Wands. Super excited to share with you guys. If you've seen my other court card videos, you're going to know the secret story about this card that most people don't know about it. You're going to know what other minor arcana cards rule this card. Super cool. I'm also going to tell you about astrological correspondences, any other symbolism that I think you would need to know about the King of Wands. And I'm also going to get into the upright and the reversed meanings. Okay, so before we get into the video, I wanted to just make a little announcement about something I'm really excited to give to you guys. I made a tarot and astrology cheat sheet for all of you as a document that lists every single correspondence, like which tarot card goes with which astrological zodiac sign, planet, elements, all of that jazz. Jazz includes like the cards that rule this card, yada yada. But anyway, I'm super excited. I've already gotten great feedback on this resource and how awesome it is. And I think it's awesome because I actually use it because the frustrating thing with the correspondences, the astrological correspondences with the cards, is that it's hard to find it in one place. Nobody really listed it out in like one spot where you can just look it up. And I'm like, the world really needs to have this. And so I was like, I'm just going to make it myself, and I'm going to, make it available for you guys. So you can find that astrology and tarot cheat sheet in the link in the description box below underneath the timestamps, and you can get it as a thank you for signing up for my mailing list. But let's get started on what you came for on the video on the King of Wands. All right, so the King of Wands. So just to give you a flavor of this guy and who he is, my nickname for him is the Master of Creation. This guy is going out and he just has this energy of like, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to manifest what I want. I'm going to create. And so we're going to see the places that he creates from and learn a little bit more about this personality, which is super fiery. Okay, and so we're going to get right into the astrology with the cards that rule the king here. And these are related to the decans in astrology, which was created by, these associations were created by the Order of the Golden Dawn, which I talk a little bit more about in my tarot and astrology video. So I'll link that up here. Okay, and so with the decans, there's 3 decans assigned to each court card except for the page. The page is an exception. But what I really, really love about how the Order of the Golden Dawn did this is that we get to see a story, like I said, about the King of Wands. And so you can think of the 3 cards as a past, present, and future of the King of Wands. So let me tell you the decans and the cards. So the past of the King of Wands is described by the last decan of Scorpio, which is the 7 of Wands here. Then we have the present card, his present situation, and that's represented by the first decan of Sagittarius, which is the 8 of Wands. And then we have the future of the King of Wands, which is represented by the second decan of Sagittarius, which is the 9 of Wands. Great, so let's get into the story of the King of Wands. So I'm going to focus on his past first, find out where he came from, and it's pretty juicy. So with the 7 of Cups ruling the king's past, we can see in the past that he's had the experience of being overwhelmed with his desires. So he feels his emotions very deeply. And with this overwhelming hunger for pleasure, like it feels like his pleasure and what he wants is going to consume him, right? So it's so much desire that he may feel defeated by it or a slave to his passions. So what does he do? Does he give into his desires and become debaucherous? Or does he restrict himself to gain control over his desires? So this is an inner battle that he is constantly waging with himself. And this is especially a battle that he's had in his past, which fuels his journey forward. All right, so what's the King of Wands' current situation? So we have his present represented in the 8 of Wands. figuring out what's going on now. So he has all of this tension, right, from his past. So what does he do? He still has this tension with him, and he goes out into the world to try to organize and to strategize his life, right? He needs to get his life together, right? And, you know, the Eight of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarius. And I think of Mercury as like, let's figure this out. Let's strategize my life, organize it, getting together. But it's in Sagittarius, which is in detriment to that, because he wants to get to the truth of the matter and the heart of the matter. And that can oftentimes be pretty messy and definitely not straightforward. So like, when he's getting his life together, he still can't do it the way everyone else does. He feels different. Like his mind doesn't work in this logical way that others does. It senses like something higher, and that there's this like greater force guiding him, and he has to follow it. So his actions are driven to find truth and meaning in life. And when he gets an inspiration from above, he acts on it. When he senses he's close to the truth about life, he jumps on it, regardless of consequences, because the consequence of life is not living it. And the point is to find freedom from what is weighing our soul down, like the desires from his past. So now let's get into the future, the King of Wands, which I feel like he's like in this adventure. Like, so in the future, what is the future going to bring for this guy? So in the future, we have this guy who's battered and bruised from all of his experiences. So it looks like he did a lot of fighting in his life, right? Because he had all this tension going on. So that definitely makes sense. But, and it toughened him. He got pretty strong, got pretty tough. But it hasn't broken him. He's gained a lot of wisdom by getting out there into the world, and it doesn't look like he's stopping. Even though he protects what is his, he's also ready to go out and fight if need be. He is not done. He's a wounded warrior, but he is still a warrior, bottom line. And so at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy. He's tough as nails. He has a lot of wisdom and experience, and he seems pretty tough, intimidating. Like, again, I would not want to mess with this guy. He is a pretty tough cookie. All right, so I just wanted to point out some other symbols that I thought might be helpful for understanding this card. So like on his head right here and in his clothes is red, representing passion, desire, and creativity. And then we have the yellow here on the crown on his head and his cloak and on his throne. And they represent like the soul, optimism, enthusiasm. So like the soul driving him forward into action. But I can't help but notice that he's cloaked in green. He has all this green energy and he's green shoes. And so he also has this like growth, like this growth. Green represents growth. It represents fertility, like fertile energy, prosperity, and healing, right? So he's growing and learning from his experiences. He's doing a lot of healing through that, right? It's like the outside wounds that left him battered and broken. There's something about it where he's also learning how to heal himself as well. So he's growing and learning. So he's not just there to cause trouble. He's not just a troublemaker, which sometimes is like how I think of him, but he wants to grow from his experiences. And the last thing is that we have this salamander here, which I think I mentioned in the page. I don't think I mentioned it in the Knight, but it's in the Knight card too. So the salamander was like this mystical creature that in the past they thought was fireproof because they'd come out from the fire when people were like burning logs. They're not fireproof. They just like to hang out in the logs, but people took them as in the ancient days where you needed to start a fire to cook your food, like that long ago. They thought of the salamander as fireproof, as mystical and magical. So it's saying that he has this fireproof, mystical, magical energy that he's enduring, that he can regenerate. He's regenerative. And yeah, and like he can recreate himself. So even though he has these like fiery experiences, like of fighting and conflict and going out there, he can endure those experiences. He's a fighter and will keep on fighting no matter what. Okay, so the upright meaning of the King of Wands. Who is this guy? All right, so the court cards, please remember it is a person. At the end of the day, it's a person. Too often we look at like, you know, a person, like we see this and we're like, it's a reflection on ourselves or where we're at. please do consider that it might be another person coming up in your life, especially it will help you as a reader, because oftentimes people are wondering about if somebody else, like another person, is going to show up in their life. And this is like a huge major clue when you get a court card saying, yes, there is a person coming into your life, and maybe they're coming into life, maybe you're not. If it's reversed, they might not, like it might be being blocked for some reason. But just consider that the person could be you. But I think just don't jump so quickly to that, because you may be missing like a huge clue that, your spirit guides are trying to tell you when you're reading the cards. So anyway, what type of person is this, right? If you get this card, this is a person who's a warrior, who fights, and who's a leader, who's tough as nails, an adult man who's gained wisdom through experience and is willing to fight for what he believes in. Could be a masculine figure who's passionate and goes for what he wants with confidence, who overcomes barriers. So they may be impulsive or reckless at times. But they find that things work out. Like they work out, fire energy tends to be optimistic even at the worst of times. All right, so what does this card mean if it comes out reversed? Well, reversals in general means that the energy is being blocked or avoided. So it means this person's energy is being blocked or avoided. So it's the same person as described in the upright meaning, but one or both of you is trying to avoid each other, or there's an argument or disagreement between you two. This person might be super hostile, super aggressive, super unpleasant to deal with. Or, it could be you too, but there's definitely like a friction energy or like an avoidance energy for some reason. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video on the King of Wands. This is just a reminder that if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when my next video comes out. Also, if you sign up for that tarot and astrology cheat sheet, I send my videos to my mailing list so that you get them in your inbox, which is something that I personally like. Like if I like a channel, I like to get emails when the videos come out. So make sure to sign up for that and get a really awesome resource as well. Also, another thing, if you want to catch up on the videos that I've already done on the minor arcana, this is the last card on the wand, so I've covered all the wands. I'm going to put a minor arcana playlist right here for you guys. I'm also going to put a related video that I think that you guys might want to watch next after this video. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're over 1,000 subscribers now, and I'm getting comments from people that are really meaningful for me. And I just love you guys so much. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, and teaching something that's really special and near and dear to my heart. So I hope you guys find value in that, and take care. Love you.